Alan Spector here again, and now every Tuesday and Thursday at this time, I am joined by longtime Orlando attorney Tom Olson for Olson on Law. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Alan and crew and WFLA listeners.
Tom, our topic this morning, simply two words, buyer beware. So, Tom, when you buy a home in Florida, does the seller have to tell the buyer about all of the problems with the home, or is Florida a buyer beware state?
Alan, when I became a lawyer 40 years ago, Florida was a buyer beware state, but we've come 180 degrees so that now a seller must disclose to a buyer any and all facts that materially affect the value of the property.
All right. Now, I understand the seller must tell the buyer about plumbing and electrical issues with the house. What are some other examples of what a seller must disclose to a buyer?
Well, the seller should disclose, for example, that somebody died in the house.
Oops.
Or that there are loud neighbors. My advice to a seller is to disclose anything and everything in the contract so that after the closing, the buyer does not come back and sue the seller for non-disclosure.
All right. Now, I've bought and sold some houses, and I always recall using an as-is contract. Doesn't an as-is mean as-is, Tom?
Alan, you're correct. Most contracts in Florida are as is, but as is means that prior to closing, the seller will not be obligated to pay for any repairs or termite treatment. But even with an as is contract, the seller is still obligated to disclose to the buyer any and all problems with the property.
Yeah, like if somebody died in the house. If you have legal questions, Tom will be happy to answer them on the Olson on Law show. That is heard Saturdays at 10 a.m. right here on News Radio WFLA Orlando. And you can catch the Zoom version of Tom and me on our social media platforms. Tom, thanks very much, as always, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Alan.
And remember, for all of your legal needs, call the Olson Law Group in Orlando.